We now have coming up 18 gold medal fights, and here they are. Women's Sanda 48 kilogram final, 52 kilogram, 56, 60, 65, 70, 75, 48, 52, 60, 56 for men's. Pretty much every category for women's and men's. This is the fight that these fighters have been waiting for, and they've been fighting hard to get here. Watching all that action with me over the last 3 days has been Sanda, Judge, and Wushu teacher, Tony Sims. Tony, this is it. It's the final lap. And as you've been saying, high quality Sanda is what we're about to see.
Absolutely. This is the best of the best for this competition. We've had some competitors, unfortunately, that weren't able to make it through 4 days of this grueling training, so they've dropped out. But overall, these are the fighters that have fought their way to get to the finals, and so we should see some absolutely amazing fights.
Now, these are the big names that have made it to this glorious stage. Divine Wally from the Philippines is going to be opening up. We're going to expect big things from her. Great showing from Ellen Omberg from Sweden. As you were saying, there's a lot of Sanda countries, but if you have a look here, we've got someone from the Czech Republic up in the finals. We've got just one Korean fighter, 8 Chinese fighters, and around 6 Iranian fighters. So in the end, for you, that pipeline has produced these fighters here. After 41 nations had descended on the 13th World Wushu Championships this past week, it's now come down to these Sanda nations.
Sure, and we have some folks, as you pointed out, that countries there that you can see the depth of their fighters across the weight categories. But when we started out this competition and through the few days, we've seen some countries that have made inroads. And while they may not be here in the finals, they really had great showing. Some names that we'll look forward to remember.
And of course, they'll be turning up possibly and making greater impacts in the following World Wushu Championships. Happens every 2 years. Last one was in 2013.
Every 2 years for the adults and every other year for the youth. They're introducing the officials table here.
I'm sure you know most of these people.
Sure.
I can tell you now, everyone watching from around the world, this man sitting next to me has been going around and just giving high fives to a lot of them, every single one of them. But that's good to know. That I called him yesterday. Tony here is our 6th secret judge that sits up on an elevated platform. These are the actual Day 5 judges?
That's right. This is Malashur and Alexander. Malashur is the head Sanda referee or chief judge, and Alexander the assistant chief judge. Now we're going around for the 5 sideline judges is what we call them, and we'll have platform judges that will take the platform to control the fights there. But you see them introducing the recorders, the timekeepers, and in the back there, the observer.
So altogether, around this Day 5, including the head table, how many judges are we talking about?
Well, we had about close to 20 judges here for the competition.
Wow, 20 judges. And if you think about some of the ring sports you have, about 3, maybe 5. But
and it's important. Each time we go out, there are 5 sideline judges, but so that our viewers understand that, of course, to avoid any conflict of interest, judges have to be changed out.
Yeah.
So if their country's fighting, judges are changed out and platform referees are changed out. So you need a complement, and as you've seen, it's a lot of fights. So we rotate them in to keep them alert.
Well, this is our first gold medal bout, best of 3 rounds. Luan Thi Huang from Vietnam fighting out of the red corner, and Divine Wally, who's had a really great Wushu Sanda championship as she's walked through. She's always looked like the underdog, but she's always come through in the end. And this is it. She's bound to pick up a medal, either gold or silver. Let's see if she can make it gold. Both fighters now onto the Day 5. The first 2 of, as I said, 18 or 17 gold medal fights that will be happening in this final afternoon session here in Jakarta, Indonesia at the Istora Senayan. And we're off with 2 minutes. The 2-minute clock is gone.
Both of these countries have shown us great speed in their fighters, so we should expect that also from the lighter weights as well.
And a quick push off, and this is what we saw from Divine Wally and Luan Thi Huang. They can both comfortable with fighting off one leg.
Sure. Great movement on the platform. Not giving up much ground in terms of the takedowns, and as you've just pointed out, really good on one leg.
Yep. And I think most of the people watching
you see
wondering
Divine,
how can that happen. Well,
Well,
it's a lot of conditioning.
Training.
Yeah.
You see Divine using that front leg to try and neutralize any kicks. She knows she's fighting a team that's known for having really fast legs, and so she's trying to neutralize that Vietnamese fighter's legs.
And she's first up on the board.
Sure, we got a roundhouse kick in there, also from Divine, so that scored, and there's a thigh kick that probably scored as well. Yes, we see the points mounting up here.
Oh, good fight so far from the Philippine fighter in black.
As we said, this is the fight that they came here waiting for a few days ago, training for the entire year to get to today in this fight.
Takes a lot of focus and a lot of determination over a 5-day tournament. With such a heavy...
Looks like red went down first. Yes.
So looking at the points, this is brilliant from Divine Wally. She's at least, well, for 2 judges, at least 5-6 points up already.
She is, and this is just the first minute of the fight. Testament to the quality of the fighting. Both women putting techniques out there to score.
And that raised leg has actually been quite effective.
You see Luan trying to get, with that leg raised, she's not getting the thigh kick in that she might have been able to get in because the leg is raised.
Yeah.
Of course, she could go to the back, as we've seen some of our other fighters, thigh kicks on the inside. We saw someone taken out with that technique, but she hasn't been able to do it with Divine here.
Now the clock is ticking, 15 seconds left. This first round is going to be so important. It gives you such a psychological advantage as you walk into the second round. There's the beeper counting down the last 10 seconds. Well. How about that? We have been praising the Vietnamese team and the Vietnamese fighters within it for their aggression, but really nullified there. Having a look.
Both
that was
women
the early.
off
That was both of them going off.
Đánh như hôm trước, có hiểu không? Hôm nay em không chủ động. Luôn nghe rõ chưa? Em phải chủ động đánh. Nghe rõ chưa? Quyết tâm lên. Không được áp sát cô nói thế nào? Không làm theo tí nào cả, hả?
As you said earlier today, not only do we have this in-corner camera that's fantastic for finals day, but just a marked difference in the attitude of both camps.
We can expect to see that Luan tries to make something happen. She's already assured a medal, but she has nothing to lose going for it. She's down, and Divine earns 2 points for that, but nothing to lose in trying to press Divine.
Still not getting any leeway with that kick. And Divine just charges in. And that was very nice.
It's where, just by sheer will, Divine moved her weight, pressed down Luan, get that 1 point. It's the same way she did in the first round, sort of ticked points off until by the time we looked around at midway through the round, she had a safe cushion.
And she hasn't got that cushion here now. It's round about the same time, just a couple of points between them.
So Luan has been able to stay in this round a little bit more, but what she needs to do is to rack up some points so that she can get ahead and have a cushion to take this 2-3 rounds. So let's see if she's able to make that shift midway through the second round.
She's still within striking distance. A good combo and a good exchange will put her right up level with Divine Wally.
She hasn't been successful in getting takedowns, and Divine's balance is so good that she hasn't benefited from any slips from Divine.
And you can also see the trouble that Luan's having with that side kick and the thigh kick, because she's having to really raise it high to get past that leg. No success
Yeah,
yet.
she
Well, there's one.
sneaked in with the roundhouse kick to the torso, but it's answered by Divine.
So no real point gain there.
Well, we see that both women smart, answering with the kick, but only Divine was seen by the judges as a scoreable technique. Again, both women exchanging, showing us that timing that we've seen throughout the tournament with our strong fighters.
Wow, what a move from Divine Wally. It's a key time that may have just got the goal. There's the beeper.
Well, credit to both of these ladies for showing us
A good fight to open up
Good
the
fight.
session.
That's right.
Final session, and she has done it. There's no way that Luan's going to come back from this now with 2 seconds left. She's moving around, and there you go. Both are short of medal, so. But you know for a fact that between them, they would have liked the colors to be different. But for Divine, that color's just Divine.
Well, I tell you, if you have to leave the World Championships with a silver medal, there's nothing to shake
There's
your head at.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'd wear that on the plane, to be honest.
She put up a great fight. She had a great fighter. These women can look forward to seeing each other again if they stay in the sport.
Yep. But how about that? Divine Wally, our first gold medalist of the afternoon for the Philippines. And she's over the moon, as you can see. And you're right, finishing second isn't that bad. A couple of frowns from the Vietnamese team, but they haven't really, to be honest, Luan was nullified in that fight. She couldn't really find a way in. And those takedowns that Divine had on top of that really made the difference. So our first podium has been set up, and I really am not exaggerating in any way. We have just a string of incredible fights coming up now. And this is another big moment for one of these emerging nations in Sanda. India, Sanatoy Devi Yumnam has made it through. She's a really tough opponent. And she's now taking on Luan Zhang from China, our first Chinese fighter. This is going to be the biggest test for Sanatoy.
Oh, sure.
Sanatoy in the black.
Sanatoy will have to take the fight. She'll have to take the fight to Zhang. But Zhang has incredible speed. And Sanatoy trying to figure out how to get in there because she's just seen how fast that front leg is for Zhang. And both of these women fought to be here this week in this fight. So you see that determination on each of their faces.
You could say that Zhang had the more stable progression up to the final. Sanatoy had to really fight for a few of her bouts. She tries to throw.
You saw her try to throw, and it's just neutralized within a second.
Just 1 point separating each off one judge right now, and that's towards
that side
Sanatoy.
kick, just side kick scored points for Zhang, and Sanatoy was able to answer with a takedown, so she gets that 1 point to 2.
Now Zhang realizes that this is the kind of toughness that brought Sanatoy to this gold medal fight.
But you notice how much harder it was for her to get Zhang down a second time. Sanatoy showing us the toughness that got her here. Both opponents pretty evenly matched. Some judges not seeing Zhang scoring.
And it's great to hear all the cheers around the stadium.
Oh, that's the great thing about the finals. And there's another takedown that Sanatoy has.
Just a few techniques that are differentiating these two ladies right now, and Sanatoy's come up with more of them. She's just edging ahead. 38 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, if Sanatoy can hold on here, she has a good shot at taking the round. There she neutralized Zhang's throw, so we see that Sanatoy is able to hang in there and not be thrown so easily. 26 seconds, let's see what happens.
Wow, this is smart fighting from Sanatoy.
See her pushing the hips back, not letting Zhang get set.
And again, what we've seen over the last 4 days is a constant progression of points for Chinese fighters, not so in this case.
That's right. This is down to 11 seconds, and Zhang hasn't been able to score. She has not been able to score. She just did. She got 2 points, and that might have been enough
maybe.
It might have been enough to put her ahead in the round as it counts down. You see the judges, her corner just told her she's ahead. Just barely ahead.
That was literally by 1 point.
That one takedown, actually, if it had been a takedown and only scored at 1 point, she would have only tied. But by earning those 2 points, it edged her just over.
Well, that's a different fight that we've seen from a Chinese fighter. It was literally at the last second.
So that side kick was on the shoulder as opposed to straight on to the pad. Otherwise, it would have might have actually scored for her. This is that exchange where they both had a takedown and a side kick. Both ladies earned 2 points.
In corner camp, in the Indian camp. And look too troubled. They had a good round. They played it. They fought it very well.
Well, for sure, Sanda knows she hung in there with a strong fighter and was so close. At the same time, Zhang wants a much more comfortable lead. Sanda has been able to keep a distance and keep Zhang from really sliding in there and earning points on her. So it was a pretty low-scoring round. And there you see Zhang trying to make something happen. Both women will end up being prompted to fight.
Yeah.
And there she's not able, both women showing great ability to neutralize the throws.
And that has been really the trademark of Sanatoy's ascension to this gold medal fight. She's made herself very difficult to move around.
Here we are. There she gets a thigh kick.
Such a tactical fight and so much on the line. Is she? It was just one hand, as you said, locked on with glue.
Right. Well, she didn't hold on to just a glove. She held on above the elbow, which is what makes the difference. And at least at this competition, with people, that's a beautiful roundhouse kick that should have scored her some points.
Yeah, it looks like it has. Well, so far, no.
Maybe. Not yet.
Definitely the referee's going to get involved. They're just showing each other a little bit too much respect. Well, that was a big
side kick. That put her on the board with some of the judges, but still, judge number 2 hasn't seen enough. Sanda having much more difficulty getting some points there, and we're down to 30 seconds left in the round.
And it looks like
Sanda hasn't done enough to get on the board in the eyes of the judges here.
I think she felt that kick, and now...
Well, that roundhouse kick just earned Zhang some more points.
And I think she's...
There, Sanda is on the board now.
Possibly too far
away. But we're down
to
10 seconds.
And in that clench, I'm sure Zhang's just going to hang on for that.
Well, she just looked at the clock. She has 4 seconds. She'll fight out of the 4 seconds, but 3 seconds.
Wow. Sanatoy Devi-Yunam was so close in that first round, and we've been talking about how much of a difference it is to have that first round in your belt when you go out. And it really did look that Zhang looked a little bit more confident once she had that in there, but she only won that first round by 1 solitary point. So gold medal to Zhang Nguyen and a silver to Sanatoy Devi-Yunam, which she will be very, very happy with. Because that silver...
Not only will she be happy with earning the silver medal, she just faced one of the tougher opponents that she'll face. While she didn't figure out a way to earn points that really pushed her ahead in that round, she at least found a way to stay in the round. So now she just has to translate that into scoring as well.
Yeah. So the Chinese coaching staff don't have to move anywhere, because another one of their fighters is now coming up in the 56-kilogram category, and that is Ling Liu. Very strong fighter against Sweden's Ellen Oberg, who has done so well to get up to the final.
Well, this is the great thing about these championships. You see a lot of the same countries represented in the finals here, but we have some first folks.
Sweden, Czech Republic.
That's right. And it's always good to see. It's always good to see that diversity in our countries making it through to the final stages here.
So now, what tactic should Ellen?
Sure, we have a changing of the judges that we have to wait for. Their fighters are ready, but we're changing out a judge.
Now, Lingling Liu, we've seen powerful in pretty much all respects. What kind of strategy do you think Ellen should go for here?
Well, we know Ellen knows that she's fighting a tough fighter. She has to feel confident in the techniques that she used to get her here.
To fight her fight,
That's right. Because either way, she is in a medal round, but she's fighting a tough fighter that means to impose on her. So Ellen has shown us that she can stay in the fight. Good for her. She fought out of the clinch. She's on the board.
Yeah.
Now we see Liu racking up points. Ellen's glove went down, so Liu will get the point. Yeah, her glove went down on the platform.
Look at that, just storming in, Lingling Liu.
Liu is very aggressive, really eager to get into this match. That's a nice.
Well, how about that?
Kick.
Big punches. One scored. But I wonder if it's woken up Lingling Liu a little bit. Maybe she won't be so.
Well, Ellen's proving that she's not a pushover. She earned her way here. Liu is making sure to give her a fight. You saw punches, kicks.
Yeah. The score differential is wildly favoring China at the moment.
That's right, but you can see that Liu knows that she's in a fight. Ellen just hasn't found a way to inch in there.
Yeah.
Look at the distance that Liu is keeping, and we know. So there's passivity, 8 seconds passivity. Because Liu is moving around and Ellen has to drive in, and she knows as soon as she drives in, Liu will meet her halfway with fast techniques. Little admonishment there.
Well, again, just bouncing on her feet. So it gives you so many options when you are doing that.
Well, this is what Ellen's been able to avoid so far in the fight. Ling taking her down. There she is showing some punches that earn some points for Ellen. She'll have to do that. She'll have to mix up some punches and use those long legs to try and get in, even though Ling is very good at controlling the distance.
Ellen just trying to close it down.
Do you see that? Liu is able to keep her kicking distance and slide in on her punching distance, and that's what Ellen has to sort of trade off and get.
And when Ellen does enter that fighting space, you don't really see Liu backing off.
Well, Ellen's not fighting as much off of her front leg, being able to use her front leg with a push kick or a thigh kick. So she can't close that distance from her front leg, where some of the other fighters have been able to do that. So this is a modification that she'll be able to make to her fighting. Once she gets close enough, she throws in the thigh kick. The next level is being able to slide in and throw in that thigh kick without having to move your body so close in.
So double digits from all 5 judges for Lingling Liu. And that's given her the advantage here, and she's now 1 round away from changing the color of her medal from silver to gold, and it's good to know.
Okay. Möt upp med dina slag. Du märkte det i slutet. Möt upp med dina slag. Var inte rädd, inte så här, utan möt upp med dina slag. Frontkick, det är bara för om du kommer. Det är du som Eller, var inte rädd. Bara gå på. Det är bara slå. Du kommer inte dö.
Nej.
Bara slå. Du har ingenting att förlora. Det är bara slå.
What I will remember about Ellen is she's in a finals match with China, and she looks as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. We've just heard that and that her instructions were just that she's got nothing to lose, just go out there and fight, and that's exactly what she's going to do.
She is not a fighter that's easily rattled, and she just got in the left jab and showing her punches there. Take down, but take down while she's punching. Liu found her vulnerable, of course, because she was coming in, but she also scored with some of those punches.
So Ling Yu just standing back, Ellen trying to close off the Day5 a little bit.
That's an example of how Liu is able to fight off of her front foot. She's able to slide in and close the distance with Ellen. We'll see it again, I'm sure. She's outside of Ellen's kicking range, and she'll close it very quickly. This is what's helped Ellen to stay in the fight, that she's been able to hold off on being thrown. She stepped in.
Stepped in, came in with the big right hook.
So you see how far, there she is, she's reaching in and punching, good jabs, and it earned her some points. So maybe she'll go to this again with a minute left in the round. There she's
just missed.
She's using her reach to get in there.
While it's very close,
she's actually
50
close
seconds
enough.
left.
That's right. She's close enough that she can push this round. 45 seconds is a long time in a round. Nice thigh kick.
Again,
nice thigh kick from Liu. That was an example of how she closed the distance. The thigh kick from where she's fighting, the distance she's fighting Ellen from. So you know that a fighter feels comfortable with their footwork when they're able to dive in with a punch over a fighter that's longer than, has a greater reach than they have from outside the kicking distance.
And she is covering that. It's at least 3 or 4 foot.
That's right. She covers the ground so fast that she covers.
Oh, well, that takedown could make all the difference. 10 seconds left.
There's Ellen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Going in there.
She's going out fighting.
She earned something. And there's Zhang punching at will.
Well, she gets the gold, Ling Liu, but she had a much tougher second round, and she knows it. So China pick up their first gold. Sorry, their second gold. And this is their third fight already. So Divine Wally from the Philippines was our first gold medalist. Yuan Zhang was our second. And now Ling Liu is our third. So 2 of the 8 Chinese fighters have already delivered the maximum that they can. Ellen can take a lot away from that fight, though.
Absolutely. We have seen fighters go out in earlier rounds. There's a night, that's what Ellen will be able to take away, those punches, to see how she was able to score on a very tough opponent.
Well, now we have our first Iranian fighter taking on our hometown hero from Indonesia. Moria Manalu has made it to the 60-kilogram final, and she's going to be taking on Sejigay Daryavakadeh from Iran in the black. And listen to the crowd. Everyone's behind Moria here.
Look at Moria.
Great takedown.
Starting with the takedown.
She's
starting with the takedown to establish herself. Both women showing that they have good defensive skills.
What a
beautiful,
punch.
Beautiful right cross.
Wow, she's really got a tail up for this one.
Well, you know, Moria knows that she's facing a tough fighter, so she's not holding back.
And she can also hear all these screams and cheers that are echoing around the Istora Senayan. This Indonesia's first of 2 fighters. She's going for the push-off. First of the 2 fighters that will be representing the host nation in this final session at the 13th World Wushu Championships.
You can see that she's buoyant by all of this energy, and this stadium is erupting here.
Oh, she's really clocking up some points.
Right, but they are very close. This is still a very competitive fight. It's a difference of maybe one technique. And
oh, wow, would you look at that. Now, Sejige, on the other hand, we've seen her really offensive and oppressive before, and she's kind of standing off here.
Well, Moria has established herself in this fight, and so Sejige hasn't been able to do that. She took the fight to a fighter that has been really oppressive in all of her earlier rounds, and that's a smart strategy for her. She's fighting on her home soil for a gold, but
there's one of Sejige's takedowns.
That's right, a beautiful takedown. She made it look easy. We're 40 seconds in, and we've seen fights change in less time. Both women showing us great hands that are racking up points.
But I have to say, Moria's right cross has racked her up what looks to be enough points. As they said, 30 seconds is a long time, but Sejige is going to have to make a move here.
Well, she will. Sejige has it. You see her with the technique. The problem is, and she just earned.
Unfortunate.
She just earned.
She just
looks
slipped
like
at the end of it.
She earned 2 points there, which really will put.
So 16, 15 seconds left.
Firmly ahead.
There's another big takedown, and this means that the last 7 seconds of this bout are going to be critical. It looks like Sejige's done enough.
Oh, she's done enough. 3 seconds, and she's at least 10 points ahead by some judges.
Yep, 17-6, 15-5, 15-5, 13-4, and 11-5. So Sejige did face some problems, but in the end, unanimously is given the round. And now Moria Manalu is going to have to come back in the second. She's already got herself a silver, remember. But I think she might have enough here. She's coming in with that right cross.
Sanda sekarang tidak mau menang. Banjing dia. Langsung kembali. Mana dia? Siap. Okey. Mana dia? Okey. Okey.
Obeying instructions like every good fighter should. Sejige's just leaped onto the Leitai. A little wave to the fans. And she's now looking for the gold. I wonder if Moria can connect with this right cross a bit more. Maybe avoid a few takedowns.
Well, this is where it's a matter of not only holding on to a round so you go to the next stage. This is holding on to the round so you get the gold medal.
Yeah.
So you can believe that she's an inspired fighter. All those months of training to get to this moment down to 1 minute and 40 seconds. Nice exchange of punches. Moria wasn't scored by all of the judges on the punches, so she'll have to make it much clearer. But only 3 points separating the fighters here into the first 30 seconds of the fight.
That's right. Sejige looking for a way in. And that's it.
She just...
Again, they move 1 minute left on the clock. Big kick, it gets kind of captured, but there's a takedown. If you can call a takedown, yeah, she flipped her off.
That'll give her 2 points, and so she's well ahead on some judges' card, as many as 8 points ahead of 0.
Right, 7, 7, 5, 7, and 5 are the differences for all 5 judges right now. 7-2, 8-2, 8-1, 6-1, and 7-0.
Yeah, Moria still, you see her still trying to make something happen. Instead, Sejige is saying, bring the fight to me.
Yeah.
When she gets in there, she has that type of combination in her.
Looking for the push-off, and look at how difficult Sejige was to move.
Strong her footwork is. Sejige started the push-off, And, I'm sorry, Moria started the push-off. Sejigea actually circled back around and was able to send Moria down. She has a 10-point advantage here in the last 12 seconds of the fight.
It was
very
that
decisive win for her.
where she shifted the weight, and will Moria get at least one takedown in? Nope, it doesn't look that way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The crowd finishes the countdown. There's the gong, and Sejigea Daryavakadeh from Iran,
Look at that.
falls down, and she is the gold medalist. And a lot of fighting respect. She picks up her coach, her Chinese coach. They were actually having a little bit of a spar beforehand.
What jubilation, winning the gold medal is incredible, and that's what you see with the fighter. All of that training down to this, how incredible to win the gold medal at the World Championships. She's just almost in disbelief. She knows that she did it, she put it out there, but you can see the elation, it's a feeling that's hard to describe.
And I'm wondering if that's an Iranian team, just a general.
Well, she's
ending
just
to it.
elated.
We've seen a
What a
couple
way
others.
to end the competition. So.
So we have our first Iranian gold medalist and a great silver medal for the Indonesian hometown hero moving through the finals list.
Well, here's a fight that you've been looking forward to.
I've been looking for this, yes.
That's
Shabana
right, Hergy and
Mansourian against Hergy Bakiryan. Shabana, very technical. She's got a lot of skills, a lot of techniques, but of course, really just her general stature. She has the longest legs that I think we've seen in the competition, and it makes it very awkward for other fighters to fight her because she knows how to use them. She knows how to stay back and keep her distance. And Hergy Bakiryan, well, she will not ever win so far this in 2 rounds. She's taken every single one of her rounds up to every bout up to this point in 3 rounds. She's usually lost the first and come back in the second and won the third.
She has, but she hasn't faced Sharabanov.
Not at
so
all.
We'll see what happens.
We were looking
Sharabanov.
forward to this, and it's off. And as you can see immediately, the different kind of fight here.
There, Sharabanov leading off with that left leg.
That's a little bit of a tug there, extra.
Well, there's gamesmanship that
Well, it's
happens
a
at
tiny
this
bit,
point.
yeah.
Both women.
Wow, that's great comeback.
You see that Fergie realized that as she evaded that kick, she actually had a scoring technique, Sharabanov did, but Fergie was punching right back as she turned around.
Hergy's looking to come in.
Yes.
And it does seem that, of course, as you can imagine, Shabana Mansourian has fought shorter fighters up to this point now. I
Sure.
think Hergy might just be the right size to pose a real problem.
Well, I'd like to also point out that we have our one extremely experienced female Sanda platform referee down there, not quite as tall as these women, both women off. Novita from Indonesia.
So very tactical and low scoring so
Low
far.
scoring as we move into there's Sharabanov using those long legs as she goes in.
Perhaps she was just moving a bit too fast, but in the end, doesn't score.
These
Still
women are
pretty much
either,
tied up.
that's right, tied up or 1 point apart as we move into the last 45 seconds of the fight. Now, they are not as aware of the score.
A couple of good contacts, didn't score. Now remember, this could be a second gold medal for the Philippines or a second gold medal for Iran.
There they both are, and each woman very good defensively.
Both came in crunching that.
That's right. Hergy got the roundhouse kick, which gave her a couple of points and tied her up or moved her ahead on some judges' cards. But this is one of those fights where we're going down to the last 10 seconds, and this round will be decided on what happens in the last 10 seconds.
Actually, essentially tied.
Some judges just scored, and it this is the last 5 seconds. Now, Hergy doesn't know that she's trailing.
By
She's
literally
trailing.
1
There
point.
she tried, but that's...
Wow, big hits from Shabana near the end, and she raised her fist. She thinks yes, she has.
Well, her team was able to tell her, but look at this. They are separated by 1, 2,
5-3.
That's right.
4-5, 3-5,
At the most
2-5,
3
3 all.
points.
So a lot that Hergy can work on, and let's now just cross over to, well, before we do that, there's one of those big kicks that landed, but it left Hergy off balance, and then Shabana so quick in. Let's get into the corner and find out. Well, I'm hoping that Shabana Mansourian obviously knows Chinese, because that was straight.
She was actually being coached in 2 different languages, so that's impressive as a fighter. There's a roundhouse kick that Shabana starts off with and puts her on the board with 4 of the 5 judges.
So if Hergy's story is to continue the way it has been, then she'll win this round. And she'll do it in the most tough and determined way that you can imagine. That's what she's done all week.
You see Sharabanov keeping the distance, Hergy not able to get in, and Sharabanov using that long leg to fend off Hergy as soon as she tries to come in. This distance is not a scoring distance, so that's where Sharabanov closes it to get some technique in. She didn't score with that roundhouse kick, but so far Hergy is so far outside of the scoring area that she hasn't been able to make any points up either.
That's why Hergy currently is at 0 on all 5 judges, because Shabana has held off just in her range, while she comes in with a big punch and a kick. And that punch caught Shabana.
That right hand has actually given her her first point, and we're into the last minute of the fight.
Well, I don't know if Shabana was expecting to be hit like that. She's now holding off a bit more. The kick's a bit slower this time.
But scored. Admonished for clinching. Here, 43 seconds, enough time for Hergy to close the scoring gap, but she would have to use the time and get in there. These clinches are just winding down the clock, so they advantage Sharabana.
There's about a 5-point difference between them now for a couple of judges, just 2 for the other 3. Hergy Bakidan, 20 seconds. Can she turn this around like she's turned around all of her other bouts? Oh, just a little fake in. And the clock stops, remember, at every 10, so she's still got 14 seconds left in this round.
So now you see Hergy amping up her technique.
I think that was the attack where she was expecting to get a bit in, but
Sharabanov just...
She's not going to do it, not this time. A fantastic run for the Philippine fighter Hergy Bakiadan, but this time she's down in 2, 5-1, 3-1, 6-1, 3-1, 3-1. That is an exchange. That is just an exchange. And Shabana Mansourian comes through, and it is a double gold medal in 60 and 65 for Iran, and believe it or not, they've actually got their 70-kilogram fighter coming up next in Mariam Hashemi Faroud, who was actually the most impressive of all 3 of them when we saw. And here she comes up. She looks ever so innocent as she's walking.
And she looks determined.
She's determined.
Already there.
And so Shabana Mansourian takes away the gold. She's very happy indeed. As the congratulations to the other fighters. She's done well.
That's months and months and months of grueling training to get to 2 2-minute rounds, not knowing who she'll face, and she's just done it.
So here we go, the third of the Iranian fighters And the last of the women's Iranian fighters that will be taking on, as I said, Mariam. Well, she has shown a lot of great skill and a lot of great determination. The other thing is she's absolutely unfazed and unscared by opponents.
Well,
this lady here has a lot of technique, and she actually scored clean double digits with, I think it was, she missed out on a full 20 from all 5 judges in one round just by a couple of points. So as you can see, she's immediately on.
She has trained for this moment. The experience of her team, the experience of the fighters, they've been at this stage.
Oh, she was
I
pulled
don't
off.
know that Veronica's had this level of experience. There's our first glove off. Veronica was trying to hold on there.
But what an achievement it is, as we said earlier, for the Czech Republic to be in the final, in the hunt for the gold medal. It might be unlikely, but she has the chance, and that's what she's been training for and fighting for. And now, just as that glove gets put back on.
Well, what we know is that both of these women will be on the platform. So
yeah,
for both of their countries, that's an impressive feat.
So just in terms of points during this equipment readdressing, Mariam currently 5-3-3-3, 1 up. No points yet for Veronica.
But Miriam just led with a roundhouse kick that scored her some points. So now we're at as much as a 7-0.
Yeah.
Now that score, that error scored Veronica a point. So her only point is on that slip that Miriam made.
Yeah.
So we need to see Veronica figure out a way to get in here and score some points. Miriam just showed you how she scored with a roundhouse kick, and then she scored with a side kick. That was a bit of a hooking side kick. So we're now into double digits for 3 of the judges.
And
you
there
see
she
her
goes.
firing away at will, and
she stays on the lay tie.
She stayed on the lay tie. She pushed Veronica off. She earned the 2 points. So she is in double digits as much as 16-1, and there's a glove off again.
Well, this is what we said about her. She has this ferocity when she goes for it, that she quite happily scored a number of points. She's already in double digits here. There's 1 minute 14 left. So over the course of the tournament, we've seen 24 points as being the most that has been accrued in one single round. She came close. And in her last match, well, she's even closer now, with one of the judges scoring at 16, and with open season on Veronica at the moment,
well,
minute left.
She's firing away at will, and on both her hands and her feet, and that was only 45 seconds into the first round.
She's up to 17 now with one judge, and just a single point from that slip for Veronica.
Right. Veronica hasn't scored any other points yet, except for that slip on the part. That's 2 more points, and so she's at 19, and she has a minute to go in the fight, roughly.
I think she's going to break that record right on the final day in the gold medal fight.
She just made it to 22, and 23 by one judge. So
50 seconds left.
So you might see
I
that
think it's
broken.
definitely that record is going to be broken.
She just went up by 1 with that thigh kick, and so we're
She's now equaled it.
Right, just as you expected. And we're at 39 seconds, and with that takedown,
she's now going to go straight into the lead. What a performance from... And there it is, 25 points from one judge, past 20 for the other, well, with 3 of the other ones.
30 seconds left to go, and this is the first round.
That's 27 now, and that's going to be 29, is it? No, just one.
The fight is being called.
Yeah, that is an incredible performance from Mariam.
No, the fight is being called. The platform referee didn't realize it. Mariam doesn't. She doesn't realize that the fight has been called.
Well, 29-1, 28-1, 25-1, 18-1, and 25-1. The records have been broken for whatever reason. Mariam Hashemi Farouk, we told you she was the most ferocious of the Iranian women. 29 points, but you could say because it was against a more inexperienced fighter that she got it, but we have to give her the record for
This
that.
was a different level than Veronica, so clearly a different level that when you get to 29 points to 1, or 28, now Veronica was holding her own so that she wasn't hurt. We've seen fights stop much sooner than this, but she's not able to answer, and you have an opponent that's up to 29 to 1 on a fighter.
And now I can see clearly what you're saying about these Sanda nations. We just in the middle between the men's and women's draw. We're going to have another round robin match here in the 75 kilogram women's category. Pooja Kadian against Wan Li.
And so for our viewers understanding, there's a calculation used with the round robin when we have a certain number of fighters. And here we had 3 fighters in this weight category.
In this weight class, right.
That's right. And that meant that we had 3 different bouts. Each of the women got a bye in the bout, and they fought each other. And so
this is still,
that's right. This is our gold and silver medal winner.
So it is still a final?
Yeah, this is a final, with the 3rd place already being awarded.
Well, just as these fighters get underway, just have to point out, as you were saying about Sanda Nations, that is the women's half of the Iranian team. 3 golds. Incredible. Great performance.
When we talk about the pipeline for Iran in terms of producing fighters and what it means when you have that level of experience at this stage of fighting, that was a perfect example. The Czech Republic was here, but Iran's been here so much, and the depth of the preparation made such a stark difference in the ability to even stay competitive in the fight.
And let's not forget that those 3 gold medals might inspire a whole new generation of Iranian women to get into Sanda and take it up and build that pipeline and pool. Now back to this fight, 30 seconds in. No surprise to see the Chinese fighter Yuan Li in the black already racking up the points. 4 points clear in the eyes of a couple of judges. And for Pooja Kadian, another Indian fighter, great to be here on the big stage, with Uchit Sharma and Surya Singh in the semi-finals as well. It's been a good performance for India over the week. And of course, Sanatoy Devi Yunam earlier on in the 52 kilogram final, silver medalist. Plenty of shiny medals to take back.
Our other woman in the 75 kilogram fight was Sharuk Mansour. So kudos to her for Egypt taking what should be the bronze medal in that category. And both these women fighting for the gold and silver.
And right now that gold looks like it's edging towards Yuan Li in China. And that would be their 3rd medal, with a possible chance of a 4th coming up next. Men's 48 kilogram, Ji Hui Zhu. We all know about him. We saw him this morning. So currently 30 seconds left here, and a good clear 3, maybe 4 points. Well, that's good. She managed to keep the glove.
So twice off for her, so that round's over.
She was behind on points anyway.
जो तू उसे पैर पकड़ रही है ना, उसे पकड़ के खड़ी मत, उसे दबा दे, इससे दबाना है, इससे दबाना है, कोई नहीं तो थोड़ी जिगारी दी, हौसला, डिफेंस कंटिन्यू, कोने पे लेके खड़ी है, कोने पे
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the coaches supposed to help the fighters? Because I'm sure that she actually was hurt just now.
Well, a lot happens in that 1 minute. You have coaching going on, you have hydration going on, you have
stretching.
Right, trying to get some air in, and you have some muscle stretching there. Trying to stimulate the legs.
Well, she took a couple of big hits there.
Well, Yuan just showing us her hands, although there was only 2 judges scoring one of those punches. But she just earned 2 points.
The capture of the leg and then the takedown, just effortless from Yuan Li. She's now 2 points ahead, 15 seconds in. Good platform to start building more points. Oh, that was, again, very aggressive.
Sure. Here we have Yuan mixing it up. We see Runli showing us her hands as well as her feet. And she's inching up with the points. Still a low-scoring round as we move into our last minute of the second round.
Yep, that's right. That's been low-scoring across. Of course, that first round was decided with the 2 push-offs.
Sure.
And this time, great to Pooja's credit.
Yes, but still not able to mount any points on the board.
I think right now she's probably focusing on just staying centered in the lei tai, which is what she's doing. But yes, not enough attacks coming from her, you'd think. But still, this is still an exchange away.
Oh, sure. She could force the issue, and Yuan would have to press even more. But at this point, Yuan knows that she hasn't seen any technique that's really caused her great concern. She's edged up. There's still a 4-point high on the judges, but
there's a capture.
Side kick, and look at Yuan.
Look at Yuan, such 75-kilogram tall, but just hopping around as if she didn't need the other leg.
She was at least for 3 seconds on a leg.
Yep.
That's how long the platform referee is allowing that to happen before seeing whether there'll be a scoreable technique. So it's at least 3 seconds there.
So
there's a push kick that scored with some of the judges that could see it from Yuan. There, Pooja got a thigh kick out, and the judges, few of the judges saw it. Too far for judges, for the first judge to see it as a scoreable technique.
Been a calm and confident performance from Yuan Li.
Well, Yuan, there's a gold medal for Yuan.
That is China's.
She did just enough.
China's 3rd gold out of the first 8 fights. Iran with 3 golds of the first 8 fights. And a good haul from the women. And there she is. She's done the nation proud.
What a great moment of celebration for both these women. But obviously, when you've trained so hard to get to this moment and then you are successful winning the gold medal, how incredible. And for Pooja from India to be able to take the silver medal. And great.
Well, that's the women's category out the way. And just a quick summary before we get it. A great gold for Divine Wally in the 48 kilograms. Then China with their first of their 3 goals. Luan Zhang in the 52. That was followed by Ling Ling Yu in the 56.